Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Nifa. How are
Can you hear me
you?
very clearly?
I
I
can
think
hear
I think
you
I should increase
super.
my volume a little bit.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you
Okay,
perfectly.
perfect. Okay,
All right,
good.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? We're managing it.
I know, right? I'm very good. Very
Okay.
good. So let me just introduce you and then myself
Mhm,
for those who are first time viewers of our podcast. And I mean, for
mhm.
those who are coming back also, it's just a refresher. So this is the Africa's Business Rockstars podcast. And what we do as Africa's Business Rockstars is really to interview young entrepreneurs and beyond Ghana and also in Ghana, people who are experts in their industry, yes. And we figured, well, we're all on lockdown. Why don't we touch base with key people in various industries and basically understand how you're holding up, what you're doing to de-stress, what you can do to encourage some of us to make use of the time that we have right now, basically being at home. So my name is Nefa,
Right.
and I'm the host for today. And our guest on the beauty segment of Young Entrepreneurs Speak is the one and only Valerie Lawson. I'll allow her to
Hello.
introduce herself so that I don't take the steam out of your engine. So over to you,
Okay.
Valerie.
Thank you, Nifa. Thank you. First of all, congratulations on this. I think it's fantastic. So
Thank you.
congratulations. But yeah, so I'm Valerie Lawson. I'm a makeup artist, just a simple makeup artist
Simple.
who simple, very simple makeup artist, um running a beauty business. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I own a beauty brand called CVL Beauty.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, from what we see on our social media and from the number of people who actually, attested to your good works, we like your humility. So
Mhm.
thank you very much.
Oh, thank
But
you.
I'd like to say I disagree with you saying it's simple. You're an authority in the industry. So congratulations to you
Oh,
as well. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Just a
Thank
bit
you. I
of
appreciate
background
it.
for those who may not know. How long have you been doing this for in terms of
10
being a
years
makeup?
now.
10 years now?
hmm
That's a 10-year-old
10
baby
years
you're
now.
calling simple.
It's just a makeup artist. Just a makeup artist. But yes, 10 years now. I
Yeah.
started, I want to give like a little story or background.
Sure. Please do that.
So
That's how it all
after secondary
began.
school, yes. So after secondary school, I was
Hmm.
in the States for, we had the 1 year break. So I was in the
Okay.
States then, and I was
Yeah.
living with my auntie. My auntie and I went to a Mac store, or yeah, Mac
Okay.
store, and I watched, with the Mac sales people or the makeup artists, they are really salespeople. They are just trying to sell their products
The
and
product.
make their
Exactly.
commission. So
Exactly.
on your face, they'll probably put like 10 products on your face just to sell more for commission. So I was
Exactly.
sitting back and I was watching them, and I was like, these people are fraudsters. I was like, okay, we could have eliminated this and this and this. Mind you, I was not a makeup artist at all. I was not
Okay.
into makeup on myself. I wasn't that big into makeup on myself. I didn't understand, the arts of that. But I was into art. I could sketch. I can't sketch. People
Okay.
know me for that. So
Okay.
I was just looking at them and I was like, oh my gosh, like they're using like four powders on my auntie. There's no point. So we went home and my auntie, the first thing my aunt said when we went, she was like, "Hey, this guy has taken my money." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then she says, and then she says, she lost she lost the coverage because she had gotten like acne scars or something, but
Okay.
she didn't like how heavy it was because Mac was initially made for artists to work with, not for everyday people. So it's
Everyday
really full
use.
coverage.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of their products are full coverage.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, tomorrow I'll try it on you because it was in the evening. So I was like, tomorrow I'll try what I can try on you, what I think would work and what wouldn't work. So I did, and then
Yeah.
she was like, oh, she loves it. She prefers this because I used about three products out of nine. So she said, no, she loves the coverage of this and she
Yeah.
loves how it feels on her
Yeah.
skin. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, great. Well, so I was coming to university, business school, Legon,
Yeah.
and she gave me like the things that she wasn't using, like the makeup stuff that she wasn't using, because I had saved her,
Okay.
the trouble of putting all that on her skin.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
I came to school and I'd work on my friends and I'd post on my page. That's why my page is
Yeah.
still Miss Lawson because
Yeah.
I'll just post on my regular personal page. And then one time, Printex called me for a shoot, and they
Okay.
said, yeah, they said they needed a makeup artist. I was like, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm in business school. I just do makeup for my friends on occasion when they're going out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they called the next day, and then they said again that they couldn't find anybody. So they really, really wanted me. They wanted to pay me 100 CDs for 11 models. I was like, oh, sure, because I just had like some crazy routine with business
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, it'll be a fun thing to do. So from that shoot that I did, I met one of the models who's a great friend now, and she
Okay.
introduced me to like one of her friends who was getting married, and then one of
Mm.
her friends from the bridal.
A little bit. So as of the time where you were practicing on your aunt,
Hmm.
had you what had you done? Was it
Hmm.
like YouTube tutorials, or you were just gifted? So you just messed around with it and
I I no
good.
I So because I'm an artist, usually what I do is when I see a person's face, I'm able to pick apart. Or well, I was doing that with myself anyway.
Okay.
So I'll look at my face and maybe under my eye is a bit
Yeah.
dark. So I know I need to conceal, but probably I want to lift this
Yeah.
part. So I could understand what they were doing from an
Point
artist's
of view.
point,
Yeah.
but I could also see sort of like the
Yeah.
bullshit in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I could see that they were BS in here to just
Yeah. Of
sell,
course.
but I could understand the process of what they were
Yeah.
doing. So from that time, I started doing like watching YouTube
Okay.
videos, and
Okay.
I started following this lady, Beat Face Honey. She was really good, and she started like the cut crease and contouring and all that.
Okay.
So yes.
And then the Printex story, because it seems like it was so random. This is you just, making up your friends, posting on your page, and then all of a sudden you get a call. Did you find out from them? How did they even find you in the first place?
Yes, so they said they found me on Instagram.
Okay.
They said they found me on Instagram, and yeah, I think that was it. It was just Instagram. Because when they called me first, I was like, no, I'm not a makeup
Yeah.
artist. I don't do this. And then, yeah, then they said, well, they still wanted me
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
come on board and do
Yeah.
something. So I
So
was
at
like,
what
sure,
point in
why not?
time did you then transition from Valerie who to yourself, you are not a makeup artist, to the Valerie that you are now? When did you say, you know what? Maybe I am a makeup artist after all, and I didn't even know it.
Okay, so I took an entrepreneurship
Okay.
class because I was in business school. So one of our courses was
Okay.
entrepreneurship, and they told us um to create a business and put and apply some of the principles and strategies that they had taught
Yeah.
us. So my friends and I, we were deliberating, okay, what are we doing? We'll go here, they'll bounce us, we'll go here. You know how it
Yeah.
is, somebody will come and tell you, oh, please, I want to study your business. You're like, Charlie, I don't have
Yeah.
time. So that happened a couple of
Yeah.
times. And I was like, okay, let me use my business as a
Okay.
module because, well, not my business, but let me use this thing because it was bringing me some
Yeah.
money. It's just that it wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
money. So I was like, let me use this as a means to um, just to try to see if the principles will
Right.
work. And
Right.
I decided to put certain structures in place in terms of like putting a package together. We had done marketing, so I understood what branding does for the
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And because it was a service business, it wasn't really a product, but I understood that if a bride sends you
Hmm.
something, they're expecting, or it's nicer if you have like a PDF
Hmm.
file or something to
Like
give
a
them,
portfolio.
so like a
Yeah.
portfolio, yes.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. I added a contract. So I added a lot of things that people were not taking seriously. Like people were just sending WhatsApp,
Images. Yeah.
like their prices.
Yeah.
Yes, their prices, or they'll just type it out.
Yeah.
They were like, or notes. They just take a note. People still do that.
Yeah.
They just write it in their notes. Makeup for this is this, makeup for that is that. So that's how it was.
Wow. Wow. So it looks like you're able to then fuse what you had actually studied in school with what I can hopefully
Yes,
call your passion, so putting the two together. That's
yes,
especially when you wanted to move into
yes,
the business, into the space of it, using it as a business, right? Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. All right. What were your marketing strategies, social media wise? Because you are mostly available on social media, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So social media has been like the biggest tool for me.
Okay.
I think I built my entire business on social
Mm,
media really,
mm.
from it growing organically to what it is
Yeah,
today.
over 100K.
So yeah,
Congratulations.
social media. Ah!
Congratulations.
I don't believe in the numbers.
Sure.
I don't, I mean, I appreciate the numbers, but I prefer like engagement, reach, all of that.
Okay.
So yes, you said 100K, yes. Yes,
But you're telling me about the marketing strategy before I threw in your numbers.
yes.
I think I lost her on her connection. We will, don't worry, she'll join us soon. So I hope you're enjoying the conversation that we're currently having with Valerie of Contours by Valerie Lawson. We've heard how she started, just a simple individual working on her friends. And then she got the interest when she went to a Mac store and saw what they were doing and how they were selling products, and then post that she's like, let me try this on my friends. And now she's become, a business person. Yeah, great stuff. I agree. So I'll just try and get her back online. I suspect it has to do with connectivity, but please don't go anywhere. You can actually put your questions here now, and then I can ask her. So if you have any questions at all, anything, because this is a conversation about how businesses are coping in these times, what are we doing? How is she handling it? What would you like to know? What would you like to ask her? Anything at all. Just type it here and then I will ask her on your behalf. So I hope so far you've enjoyed our conversation. Let me try and get her back on here for me. So just give us a minute and we will be right back. So we've sent the request and then we will just wait for her feedback, for her to join us again. When it comes to products, what does she look for and how does she choose? Yeah, very good question from you, Ash. I will ask her that. I will really ask her that because I'm interested in that as well. Oh, definitely. How is she managing during COVID? That's like one of the main questions we're definitely going to ask. So in terms of management during COVID, let me just write down your questions very quickly so I don't lose them. See, let me pin this one right here. And then also when it comes to products, what does she look for? We pin those two as well. She mentioned not typing out her price list. How does she do that? Okay, no, I think what she mentioned was that people will send price lists, but when you engage a vendor, you ask the vendor what your prices are, and then it comes through WhatsApp. But what she's done is to put together a portfolio, so it makes it more professional. It's part of the marketing strategy. So there's this whole portfolio that she sends via PDF that has the various price lists depending on what you want. So we'll try and get her back on because it was very engaging. Oh, there we go. We have Valerie back. Just accepting her request right now, and then we can continue. Thank you for your patience. It's technology, so these things happen. Hi.
Hi guys, I'm so sorry. I'm
Don't
sorry.
worry. Whilst
Okay.
you were gone, we were writing 1,001 questions for you, so it's
Oh
good.
my goodness. I'm here. So let's go.
All right. So the first question that has to do with your introduction that you gave us. So someone wants to
Mm-hmm.
know how you choose your products because, like you said, there's a wide range of makeup companies and the products that they sell. Someone wants to know how you choose your products because they're different. They use the word saturation levels. Some of us are new in this space, so.
Okay, so you're talking about products that I use to work, right?
Yes, and how you
Okay.
choose that this is the products I want to work with, product A versus product B.
Oh, I think it depends on the kind of client I'm working on. So,
Okay.
I mean, a whole lot of things come into play. So in this part of town, I'm working with my skin tone, your skin tone, and maybe 20 other ranges of our shades, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I'm selecting complexion, I'm going to select complexion based on the kind of clients I'm going to work on. I'm not going to be taking like a whole lot of Caucasian foundation because I'm not working on a lot of them. So that's one thing. Another thing I look out for is climate.
Yeah.
In art side of that, I think 80% of my clients have oily skin.
Okay.
So I have to work with like matte foundation.
Yeah.
I have to work with like good primers.
Yeah.
I have to work with products that come together to stay longer. So, I mean, it's a lot of things that go into it. I do more bridal makeup, meaning, yes, bridal makeup needs to last the whole day, because usually we don't stay the whole day or I don't stay the whole day as an artist. So
Yeah.
the person's makeup needs to last the entire day. So
Yeah.
I have to consider all of these things, and that would affect the products I choose. Yeah.
Right.
But right now, I've been signed with
Maybelline.
Maybelline, so I use
Yes.
purely
Don't worry.
Maybelline
We've
products.
done our
Yes.
we've done our research and we'll get into that one.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get into that one. So now let's
Thank you.
dive into the deeper conversation, because for someone like you and the industry you're in, your business is really dependent on clients coming to you, or while you going to them, but basically us having somewhere to go. And this is a case where we cannot go anywhere. We are not supposed to go anywhere. Let me put it that way. Yeah. So how are you
True.
managing during this period? Where there's
Well,
nobody hitting you up to say, listen, I have this wedding and you need to glam me up.
yes. I mean, it's a sad time for us, but it's also a great time for business intent, meaning it's made us think. It's made us
Yeah.
sit back and
Yeah.
think and re-strategize and realign with our long-term goals.
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly services has been completely thrown off.
Yeah.
We're not, I mean, I still, yes, as of yesterday, I got calls for people are still trying to book makeup
Oh
on the
wow.
low.
That's good news. Yeah.
It's good news, but then it's disappointing because you should not be doing makeup to go anywhere. So
No,
that's
but
like
maybe
one
they're
of the
booking
biggest.
for posts or they want to book.
No, no, no. They're booking for like this weekend. Like someone says she has a birthday thing she has to go for. So they're booking for this weekend, and
Okay.
no,
Oh,
I'm not trying to do that.
yeah.
So on as much as
Yeah.
people are coming in, I'm not trying to render services at this time. It's not safe for me and it's not safe for them. So services
Yeah.
have been
Yeah.
completely taken off. The good thing is we have a website. So we
Okay.
sell and I produce tools and accessories, so brushes, tweezers, the things that
Okay.
aid the products that we
Okay.
use on the client.
Right.
So then
Right.
people can still buy online. Another thing that
Right.
I've just introduced is like webinars and portfolio review, online
Yeah. I
classes.
saw that.
I've just posted that
Yeah.
on my page now. Yes. So these
Yeah.
are things that will bring revenue in. It's made me think, it's made
Yeah.
me deliberate with my team. It's made us like go in and see. And I think some of these things that happen, they birth like new ideas. Clearly, they birth
Yeah.
new
It's like a
ideas,
blessing in
new
disguise.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. You just have to make it out alive.
Yeah.
So that's the main goal, to take care of yourself, to make it out alive. Yeah,
Right.
and then it's
Right.
given us some time to sit back and reassess everything we've been doing. I mean, for me, I don't think I've had a break like this in years. In
Okay.
years, in
Okay.
like 6 years. I haven't had a long break, like 3 weeks not going to the office, to the actual office.
Yeah.
So this has made me sit back and it's made me look at the business all over again, which is the most important thing, because you need to sit
Yeah.
back and then realign, over time,
So I was going to
once
come
in a
to that.
while.
So
So,
how have you then changed your business model? Maybe not totally, but then how are you reinventing yourself? Especially like you're saying, now you have time to actually think and strategize. So what can you share with us in terms of the new things that the new
are
ways of
coming up.
working? Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is when I'm working when I'm from well when I start when I start working on people, they're going to have to buy their own products, like their own
Okay.
brushes,
Okay.
because brushes is one way of transferring from one person to the other. As much as
Fantastic.
we don't,
Fantastic.
yes, it's not where we've priced it in a way that it's not like an expensive thing. It's one of those
Okay.
things that you should have maybe two or three of one off. So it's not priced expensive, or it's not too
Okay.
pricey. It won't break your bank. So then
Okay.
I've made sure that I've put that in place. It's now like a policy. Once you come to us, you would have your brushes put aside. So
Okay.
that those you take that home with you. Whenever you're coming, we'll expect that your brushes are clean when you're coming back. Your
Okay.
brushes should be clean,
Are you going
you
to teach us
know.
how to clean our brushes?
Yes, and I have all that. It's all content for the lockdown season. Lockdown season has brought out so much
Yeah.
knowledge from me
Yeah.
and from other artists. So yes, we're
Yeah.
creating content like that. I'm definitely
Okay.
creating content around cleaning your brushes, how to
Okay.
sanitize, all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
one of the things. Another thing is, I was talking to one of my friends, and they said, I have to, Valerie, do you have a business continuity
Continuity
plan?
plan. Yeah,
And I said,
exactly.
no, I don't have one in place, but I kind of know what to do. And she said, no, 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 you need to put it on paper. So then I started researching and I've drafted one.
That's
And
good.
clearly, this is not something that we nobody anticipated, nobody in any business or in
No,
any
no,
industry
no, not at all.
anticipated.
Not at
So
all.
yes, we just had to learn from this and put things in place. So I'm excited about that. I will share this with people because I know for sure that in my industry people
Yeah.
don't
No,
know anything
we don't
about
go
it.
that in depth. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it's a and just in researching and in reading about it, I found so many gems and so many things that will save a lot of businesses for the
Okay.
future, you know.
Okay.
So I'm excited to share knowledge on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You talked about your webinars. How does that work and how does one join? Is you said it's now like a source of revenue for you in these
Yes,
times. So how does
yes.
that work? Just give us a brief
Okay,
outlook on it. Yeah.
okay. So there's three parts to it. The first part is a portfolio review. So
Okay.
this is something that's done mostly with photographers, professional photographers, when they go for their like their master classes and their
Mm-hmm.
seminars.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they can book a workshop, a one-on-one, not really a workshop, a portfolio review with
Okay.
the person that they want to learn from or they want advice from. They go in
Okay.
for like 30 minutes, they take their portfolio, their body of work. Okay,
Okay.
then the person looks at it. So the person takes like another 30 minutes to look at it,
Okay.
sends you out of the room, gets all his questions down, looks at maybe your lighting. Obviously, they are showing them a picture. So he's going
Yeah.
to say, okay, your light has influenced this picture in this way. You should use
Yeah.
this tool this way. So that's what I'm trying to apply here. With something like that, I don't need to see you one on one. There's no point.
No.
So this is
Yeah.
like one of the great, yes, ways that I can still impact people.
Yeah.
And this tackles mainly your business. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for your business plan. I'm going to ask for your long-term and short-term goals. I'm going to ask for your body of work, and I'm
Mm.
going to ask for your analytics, your social media analytics, because this is like basically the only marketing tool we can use now that's
Okay.
free, you know.
Okay.
So because a lot
Okay.
of people are going to be hit, we're going to be looking at like how to optimize and maximize the free tools like social media, like
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we went into this phase,
Mhm.
had you been booked like for a long period of time, and then did you have to cancel bookings? And these are the things that those we've spoken with have mentioned that they had to go through. Is it similar for you as well? And how did you handle it?
1000%. Yes, so if you know me, you know that my brides don't play. My brides book in advance. So
Yes.
these
Yes.
bookings hurt my heart when the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
And the great thing is for my business is the brides actually cancelled, but
Okay. Okay.
they postponed their weddings. I think I've had just
Okay.
one full cancellation. All of them
Okay.
have postponed it. So I didn't have
Okay.
to approach them and I didn't have to sort of disappoint them,
Right.
if you get what I
Right.
mean. Yes. So
Right.
they understood, and my brides completely understood what was happening. I think I put out a notice a week before the president actually did the mandatory lockdown.
Right. Right.
So yes.
They sort
So
of got the
we
memo
they
beforehand.
got the, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for that. None
Yeah.
of them has asked for a refund except the one who has completely cancelled. So we haven't really lost a lot of money in
Oh,
terms of
good stuff.
yeah, we
Good.
haven't had to transfer any money because they've
Yeah.
postponed it. So I think right now the main challenge is because I have like a tight schedule from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
They I have to fit them in,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
existing dates.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
it's
the
pushing
challenge.
stuff
So
back. Yeah.
exactly. So it means the last two quarters of the year is going to be really intense.
But I guess
It's
your
going to
rest
be
now.
really
Think about
intense.
it.
Yes, yes. So I'm preparing my mind. I'm preparing my mind. I'm getting enough rest. I'm
Yeah.
getting my health and everything in check because I know the next two quarters is going to be
Quarters. Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. What about your staff? Because you seem to be taking it very well. But what about? Because I know you had a studio, for instance.
Yes.
When you go and do makeup, you have people that support you. So what about them? Like, how are they? Like, what's happening with them? What was your plan for them?
Yes, so with my staff, with I have two bits to that. I have this year I got an admin team
Okay.
because I started structuring the business, properly where I wanted to run without me. So I
Yes,
had
sir.
an admin team, got another space. So on that
Okay.
front, it was a blow to us because I've already taken like a chunk of money and invested in the new team.
Right.
Then I have the service part as well. So
Right.
I have employees on both ends. Okay,
Yeah.
so with the service part, since we are moving everything digitally, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get, so I have makeup artists and skin consultants. So makeup
Okay.
artists have been affected. In March,
Okay.
we made full payments. In
Yeah.
April, we're making part payments because we can't
Okay.
make full payment when revenue isn't coming in totally.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then, yes, and then with a skin artist, right now, what I'm working on a way that people can still do skin consultations because
Mm-hmm.
people are home. I
Mm-hmm.
think my theory is you better come out of this glowing. It's either you come out of this really glowing with great skin, great edges, or you come out of this with bags under your eyes,
Yeah.
stressed, and your hair just
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So you better come out of this glowing. So I'm
Yeah.
telling everybody to like start a skin regimen, consult with someone. Everybody's like, oh, I can't consult with anyone. They don't get it. So I'm trying to structure or get people to go on the website, book
Sure.
just like we're doing now talking.
Sure.
We'll just do like a Zoom class one-on-one, and then you
Sure.
see my artist. So I'm trying to put that in place right now for the
Okay.
skin artist so that she can still make money,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
her side.
Yeah.
With the admin team, I've had to look at manager, assistant.
Yeah.
I've had to
Yeah.
prioritize
Yeah.
and tell them that listen, this is what it is. I'm not laying you off completely. It's just till things get better and then I'll
Exactly.
bring you back on. Yes.
Exactly.
So for the admin team, something like we have like a product development team. Right now we're not developing anything because we don't know what the market is going to demand and
Sure.
we produce
Sure.
based on demand.
Sure.
And with we are going to be producing in China. The whole thing is completely, all over the place. So we
Right.
just want to study the market and see how things get.
Right. Right. Your job with Maybelline, how has this
Yes.
affected it in any way? Because I think it's happened in March. I mean, I stand
Yes.
corrected, but yeah,
Yes.
you got that good deal in March, and then come April, look where we are. So has this impacted it in any way?
1000%. I was supposed to do a lot of like meet and greets and face-to-face
Okay.
interactions with
Okay.
the kiosk ladies,
Yeah.
the Maybelline girls, schools. I was supposed to
Yeah.
do so many things like classes, monthly
Yeah.
classes. But right now, all of that has been cut short. However, so now I've been forced to move everything through digital.
Yeah. So it's coming to
So
that.
but it's
Okay.
made me, yes, it still made me kind of be creative and put myself out there because I'm sure a lot of people still will say, oh, they don't know what Valerie looks like, but it's pulling me out of my comfort zone a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So I'm doing more interactive things. People are getting to see who I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
more demo stuff. I'm forced to do more demo because I
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
anyone who lives with me. So I'm forced to do more demo,
On
create more
yourself.
demo content on myself. Exactly.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, it's been tough, but as I said before, as a business owner or as an entrepreneur or a leader,
Yeah.
things like this will force you to adjust. And the
Yeah.
quicker you adjust, and the best, it, well, your success as a leader is determined by how best you adjust to these things
Yeah. And how quickly? Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how quickly. Yes.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
Badu wants to know whether your new role with Maybelline is going to affect your main business as Consults with Valerie. How are you fusing the two together?
Okay, so the main reason why I had been sitting with the idea of getting an admin team. Before I got the admin team, I was basically doing everything. I was the driver, the artist, I was the marketing person. I'll do my own poster, I'll schedule my own posts,
Yeah.
I'll do product development, but it doesn't make you efficient and effective
Right.
because you
Right.
spread yourself too thin and you're too tired. So
Yeah.
even if you're killing it on the business front, on the social end, I wasn't killing it at all. My friends
Yeah.
were like, "You're a horrible friend," you know. So
Yeah.
I knew I was in talks with Maybelline, so I
Yeah.
knew that it was going to be like a big task.
Yeah.
So that really that was like a major influence on me
Yeah.
getting the admin team. So
Yeah.
the admin team has taken up like 80% of the work I used to do.
Yeah.
And so it's made me be able to structure and schedule my, manage my time better.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So that works. So in effect, it's not going to affect what you do in any way, because
No,
now
at all.
you actually have a bit more time on your hands to
Time,
do, yeah,
exactly. Yes.
do what you have to do. So how are you staying afloat? Because fine, they haven't canceled, so technically you didn't have to refund anybody. Good news. That's
Yes,
good.
great
Is
news.
that what you're surviving on?
Yes, I think so. I also do like a lot of, I do like a lot of, well, we're selling some products, and
Okay.
I have like some money investments and other things. So let's say
Right.
savings. So
Right.
savings I'm surviving on, not really
Right.
money that's just there.
Right.
Yeah, so that's like the main thing. And that's like one of the things I want people to take from that is you
Yeah.
never know what will happen. And in
Exactly.
my industry, there's a lot of hand to mouth people or businesses or
Exactly.
organizations
Exactly.
in here. So if you're not careful, you're going to be like sucked into a very
Yeah.
depressive state, and you
Yeah.
don't want that. And we
Yeah.
also don't know how long it's going to go for.
Yep.
So people need to either be thinking of diversification or thinking of, some sort of investments that they can
Yeah.
do in other industries or in other businesses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, it's Jays wants to know that assuming you are to mentor upcoming makeup artists, what are the etiquettes that you look for, or what should the makeup artist have?
Okay, the person should be respectful.
Okay.
The person should be able to manage time, should respect people's time. I think
Mm-hmm.
in my industry, one of the biggest disappointments that people face or clients face or people complain about
Mm-hmm.
is time management. So
Okay.
if you're able to get that, then you have an advantage over the rest.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think you have to be hardworking and be ready to move with changes, because for me it's like we're always running, we're always moving, especially on like Saturdays, we're moving from one
Yeah.
person to another, but we have to make sure that in doing so we are not compromising on quality. So you
Yeah.
should be ready to learn, you should be respectful, you should be time conscious.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it, I think.
You know, should I say most people? Well, for want of a better description, but people see makeup as a side gig. You know, that's actually one of the questions. I just realized someone has that. Quran has a question. So,
Okay.
what's your opinion? Makeup being a business or being a side or a part-time business? What's your opinion on the
Okay,
two? For you, it's full-time, right?
for me it's full time, it's been full
Okay.
time. I graduated business school, and I haven't worked for anybody a day in my life. So it's
Wow.
been full time. It has
Wow.
not been, yes, at that time, the industry was not this amazing. Like, it wasn't this nice and
Yeah.
luxurious.
Yeah.
It wasn't this easy to
Yeah.
make money, like to ask for money.
Yeah.
It wasn't respected. So
Yeah.
now it's better, and there's more opportunities. Like, there's influencers, beauty influencers,
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities here. There's retailers, there's so many little parts or sectors of the industry moving now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think if you're running it full time, it's great,
Yeah.
but it will take
Yeah.
a lot of work. If you're running it part time, it's also great, but it demands a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It demands
Yeah.
a lot of attention, a lot of investment of time and money.
Yeah.
So yes, it could work either ways, but for me, I've done it full time and it's worked for me.
So it basically sort of depends on the individual and what I'm sure your plan is or what you actually set to achieve for yourself. You know,
Yes,
if you think you can manage two businesses, go ahead and do it. But if this is
yes,
something that you want to run full time, it's not going to be easy. I mean, you've been doing this over 10 years and it's taking you 10 years to
yes,
get where you are. Case in
yes,
point that it's actually a journey. And I'm sure patience
yes.
is key, right?
Patience is key. You can't, it looks very nice on the outside, but
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So patience is key. You have to be open to risks, to
Yeah.
losing money,
Yeah.
which a lot of people are not open to. So they'll watch someone do, and then they want to do the exact same thing, or they want your exact blueprint. But it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
patience is definitely key, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely key.
Yeah. I think there's a question on the hygiene, but you already mentioned that. For instance, the brushes
Okay.
where you do the classes in terms of how to keep them neat. So I'll
Yes.
skip that one. Someone wants to
Okay.
know what went into your portfolio, because that was one of the key business strategies you took. So the
Mm-hmm.
decision to choose what to put into your portfolio, what went into that thought process?
Okay. So what went into my portfolio? Well, my price, number of hours that I'll
Okay.
spend with you. So I did
Okay.
like a detailed portfolio where they basically me it's like it sounds well if you're reading it it should sound like I'm talking to you or I'm answering
Right.
the questions in your
Yeah.
head.
Right.
So I went into details and I built the portfolio based on the questions that people have asked me over the over
Yeah.
time, like over the
Yeah.
2 years that I had been working.
Yeah.
So price was one, the contracts definitely was one. What happens when maybe you cancel as a bride?
Exactly.
What happens if
Exactly.
you cancel a week before? What happens if you cancel 3 months before? Because 3 months
Okay.
before I could probably book someone.
Yeah.
So the terms for cancellation on both sides are not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Okay. So then duration, how long do I spend with you based on how much you're paying for,
Yeah.
what you get when I leave. So if I leave you, do I just leave you to be there, or do I leave
Yeah.
you with like a little package?
Yeah.
All of those little things where I have been put into the packages.
Do you have a legal team for this? This sounds very legal. You know.
Well, most of the people who help me or are on my team have been my clients. So
Okay.
yes, I have a bride who is a lawyer. So I show her or I run everything by her, and then she okays it or
Awesome.
she tweaks
Awesome.
things. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Right. So what will be one of the biggest challenges that you faced on this your 10-year journey, and how did you basically overcome it? And then we'll come
I
to the
think
bit
one
about the very difficult brides as well.
you people love horror stories.
But yeah,
Okay,
in terms
so
of the challenges, which one would you say was the biggest, where you just felt like, you know what, this decision I'm taking, my goodness, but let me still press on.
I think my biggest challenge was, and kind of still is, but I'm a little better at it, was
Mhm.
human resource.
Okay.
People come initially. What I was doing was, somebody will call me and just be like, "Oh, hi, I really like you. I like to shadow you,"
Mm.
and I'll fill it out. I'll think about it, and
Yeah,
then I'll
yeah.
have a discussion with you. And I am all about helping somebody out, but
Okay.
I learned the hard way that you don't do it for free, because they
Right.
don't appreciate it and they don't
Right.
value it.
Right.
Yes, so I think those were the most difficult times where I had gotten a bunch of girls and I was basically training them for free. I probably didn't even understand my value,
Right. Right.
to
Right.
yes, to as an educator.
Right.
So maybe now I look at it as maybe I paid my dues in those times, and
Right.
yes, so a lot of them just got up and left when I
Yeah.
had made bookings. So I
Yeah.
had to like figure it out, a whole lot of things. So I think those were my most challenging times dealing with
Okay.
people. But on
Okay.
when it comes to business and numbers, I'm not afraid to take risks. I'd
Okay.
rather learn from like those kinds of numbers. If numbers
Yeah.
don't work, I'm
Yeah.
not too sad. But I
Yeah.
think the one of the things that impacted my business a lot was
Yeah.
human resource and figuring
Right.
out the right team around you. Because apart from them working, they need to support you in a lot of ways. So if you're not
Right.
getting that support, it can be overwhelming, and it
Yeah.
can affect the decisions you take.
Yeah. 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 And this is the core team that you still have with you. You've had your team for a while, right? And this is the core team
Yes.
that's still in
No,
this.
some people have left and some people
Okay.
are still, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you manage that? I mean, I guess it's part of the business process, because you obviously you train someone and then they get to the max. And then, I mean, individuals also want to start something for themselves, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So
Absolutely.
how do you manage that whole transition?
Okay, so right now, um, we have like a contract that's renewable. So you
Okay.
work maybe in 2 years, this is what
Okay.
you want to achieve here. After 2 years, both of us will sit down and look at
Okay.
everything. Okay, do you want to continue? If you want to continue, you're entitled to like a raise, or you're
Okay.
entitled to learning an add-on service so that you can make extra money on the side. Or
Right.
if you want to go, you can go. But the thing
Yeah.
with that is, in Ghana, what I've noticed is when they learn, let's say they've learned in like 6 months, and
Mm-hmm.
they believe that they've seen what they need to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, if they want to go, they will frustrate you to go. Do you know what I mean? So they'll just
Yeah.
like have an attitude, like you don't want to
Yeah.
come and meet
Yeah.
that attitude. So
Yeah.
the contracts work, but they know how to work around it. So if the person wants to go, you see like attitude change, I'll have a
Yeah.
discussion with you. I'll tell you that,
Yeah.
you know what, it's not even that serious. You can go.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
If you really believe that you want to go, you can go. And
Yeah.
then we let it go. Yeah. But because I'm constantly like meeting people, or people are coming for one-on-one classes and master classes, I have
Yeah.
a huge database of people wanting to come in. So
Awesome.
I can easily pull people in to fill
Awesome.
in their spaces. But initially it wasn't like that.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. So we have to get into this space. I need to do it because a lot of questions are coming there in terms of price. In terms of pricing.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes, everybody
So
wants to know pricing.
everybody wants to know pricing. Everybody wants to know Valerie's
Hmm.
pricing. And like you said,
E.
I mean, when you're talking about your introduction and what you've actually done so far, you mentioned how now you can quote a price because you know your worth.
Hmm.
So they want to know that is it the price that's making your brand? Basically, how have you branded yourself such that when you quote your price, the brides are like, sure, no problem.
Well, first of all, I would say that I'm not the most expensive bridal makeup artist in
Oh,
Ghana.
nobody said that. Nobody has said that.
No, I know there's rumors going. I've heard like crazy numbers. You know, one time someone said, "Oh, I heard you take 20,000 for bride." I was like, "How? Then I should be building a mansion. You guys need to stop." But I receive it in Jesus' name. Okay. So that being said, price doesn't. I don't think price is what has made my brand. I think in the early stages, price is what made people not understand me. They were looking at me like, "Are you crazy?" There was
Yeah.
a time that
Yeah.
some artists, bigger artists called me for a meeting, and they had said to me that, you don't do that. You don't come into this industry, and there was all side jobs for them. They said, you don't come into this industry, can't be quoting these prices. And at that time, that was when I had decided to put structures in place because I
Yeah.
understood the principles that I had learned in
Exactly.
school. I was trying to
Exactly.
put them in place. And
Exactly.
I understood what I was doing, but I guess because it was a side hustle for them, they didn't understand the value that this would reap eventually. So
Exactly.
a lot of them were like, I can boldly say they were upset. They were irritated that a girl from Legon has just come into this
Yes.
space and wants to charge double or triple what they were charging. So
Yeah. Yeah.
which was unfortunate, but
Yeah.
yeah, that helped. That didn't help me then, but
Yeah.
I had to fight, and I had to endure a lot of hungry times. Like you're hungry
Yeah.
and someone tells you, maybe my charge at the time was 200 cedis, and someone told me they have 80 cedis to give me, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, I have to stay true to myself. So I'll be
Yeah.
hungry, but I
Yeah.
won't take the 80 cedis because I
Of
wanted to
course.
build
Of course.
that for
Of course.
myself, and I knew what I was giving them.
Of course.
So that was that was a struggle then, but it's helped so much now. People don't even, well, a lot of brides don't budge. As I said,
Yeah.
as much as people say, oh, value is really expensive, I am booked throughout the year.
Yeah.
I have a tight calendar throughout the year. So
Yeah.
I don't think price is sucking anybody. I
Yeah.
think what people are looking for is quality and trust.
Quality.
Once they
Quality.
can trust you, yes, quality and
Exactly.
trust. Once they can trust
Exactly.
your work and they've seen your work over time, most of my clients come from people I've already worked on. So maybe I worked on you, you have three sisters, your three sisters will say,
Yeah.
oh, Valerie, I'm booking for my wedding. Because they see my interaction with the bride, they see
Yeah.
the work firsthand,
Yeah.
and then they see like how we interact afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think really what has helped the brand is me staying true to myself
Yeah.
and me ensuring always that I am providing quality service and
Yeah.
probably even um meeting clients' expectations, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, let me just add to that. You've invested in yourself because you've been
yes,
you go for trainings,
yes,
it's an investment and you need to reap your investment. So
yes.
don't worry, I'm with you. Stay true to your pricing.
Thank you. No, I'm not budging at all. Not now. Not now. I paid my dues, guys. I've paid my dues, yes.
Yeah. But any lessons at all that this crisis has taught you in terms of running a business generally? Like you said, nobody had this in the business plan.
Mm-hmm.
So what has been that wake up call?
I think the biggest wake up call is even just speaking to other people in the industry. Everybody has been just on some
Yeah,
comfort zone level. Everybody has
yeah,
been kind of chilling.
yeah,
We haven't been optimizing, we haven't been thinking of so many other opportunities because when
yeah,
this happened, there have been so many. I mean, I literally wake up, my schedule for work now at home is 12 to 8 with
yeah.
2 hour breaks in between.
Okay,
So
okay.
I still, and all this is digital content and how to
Yeah,
monetize and optimize,
yeah,
and make great use of the social media platforms. So there's so
yeah,
many opportunities, even just digitally, that I wasn't tapping into. So this is, to me, I
yeah,
think the biggest thing is to always have time to sit back and look at other opportunities and diversify. Because if you're not diversified, if you don't have
yeah,
multiple streams of income, even just in the
yeah,
same
yeah,
industry, I don't need to even go out of my industry. Just in the same industry, diversify. Think of ways either you're starting a product or you don't just content. You can monetize content by doing
yeah.
collaborations, influencership, all of those things. So well, people are still asking about Bridezilla. But
Yeah,
yes,
don't worry. I'll ask her.
we'll
Don't
get to
worry. I will
it.
ask her that question. Don't worry.
We'll get to it. So yeah,
We'll get to it.
I think yes. I think the main thing is to find time to sit back and
Yeah,
revisit your business plan, look at what is happening
yeah,
now, how the world is shifting, and realign the shift with your business plan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But don't worry, we'll get to the particular question. Before that, actually, you're heavily on social media. So
Mhm.
one of the things that I also want to know personally is how you've managed to build that. Is it through sponsored posts? How did you basically build this social media platform? Because that's where you are. That's where you
Mhm.
advertise. That's what's basically done it for you.
Well, I don't compromise on quality. And when I say I don't compromise on quality, I'm talking about pictures and what I'm posting, the
Yeah,
content I'm posting.
yeah,
Even before I understood the value of content, I knew that my page was like a portfolio because I tell you this, I had
yeah,
this client, I had like one of my biggest clients, and they actually reached out to
yeah.
me she's a prime minister. So her team reached out to me
Okay.
in my DM, and there are people who say,
Oh
don't
wow.
DM me. There are people who put on their page, don't DM
Yeah,
me. But DM, like, why can't they
yeah.
DM me? I
You're
never
right.
understand that. You'd miss out on so many opportunities because maybe some people just don't find your contact, so they don't bother. If they don't see,
Yeah,
if they don't get a response, they move to the next person. And when they
yeah,
contacted me, I
yeah,
was like, is this real? Why would you DM me? I have my email address up, I have my phone
yeah,
number up. But I
yeah.
decided to I decided to respond just because. So I responded, and then it was actually a prime minister's team that had reached out. That was one of the biggest clients I've had for my
Wow,
portfolio. So yes.
wow,
So and she came to Ghana
wow.
and I did the makeup. It's just that, because of NDAs, we can't say exactly who and post. But
Yeah, no, of course
yes,
not. Of course not.
yes.
Yeah,
But all I'm trying to say is people need to understand that this is like your portfolio. For me, it's my portfolio. So the kind of
yeah,
pictures I put up, if I've done work and I've worked with a photographer and the photographer blurs everything on the face, that's not my work. That's not what I did,
yeah,
because we do a lot of defining
yeah,
and restructuring of the face. So if you change the colors, you change the undertones, you
yeah,
change the work I've done, I won't post it.
yeah,
And as much as it
yeah.
kind of makes people upset, it's also my portfolio and I cannot compromise on my
It's
portfolio,
altering your
you
work.
know,
Exactly.
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 So those
Yeah,
things are things that I've had to put in place. Another thing is sometimes on certain months we don't have a lot of content coming in. So if a lot of content isn't coming in, do
okay.
we just sit down and cross our legs? No. So I
Yeah,
decided to
yeah.
collaborate with other people and
Mm,
work on like campaigns, collaborations,
mm,
partnerships, all of
mm,
those things. So
mm,
those things keep content coming back on the page, like fresh new
mm,
content. And I'm happy that
mm.
I've kind of understood. It's taken a lot of years to understand my audience, but I can see through the interaction that I'm reaching my audience quite
Yeah,
nicely.
yeah. You definitely are.
Thank
You
you.
definitely are. Yeah. Wow. So this was actually supposed to go for 30, in fact, 40 minutes max. But you see how
Oh,
interesting the conversation has been.
our
Yeah, and a lot of
conversation,
people
yes.
are asking questions, and also we definitely have to get you back, but on another platform. But before
No
I
problem.
let you go, and also actually they should follow you, check out your webinar, check out your
Yes.
page. I mean, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
there. I see the tutorials and everything that you're doing. So there's a way for which we can actually engage with you even more outside of
Yes.
conversations like this. But it's been really insightful, honestly. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it so much.
yeah. Hey, but don't run away too soon. So the final question: how do you deal, with the difficult brides? Actually, firstly, do people take offense for the fact that you can't do every bride's face? So if a bride books you and they don't get Valerie, is that an
Mhm.
issue? That's the first one. And then secondly, how do you deal with the bridezillas?
Okay, so with the first one, I don't send any other person to do brides if you book me. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if you email me and you say you want 25th December and I tell you 25th December is not available,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it ends. I don't book
Mm-hmm.
you and send somebody no.
Okay.
I don't even have anyone I will
Okay.
fully give my brides to because my brides have been like the strongest part of my
Okay.
business. So I don't play with my brides. That's one thing. Second thing is
Okay.
what's the second thing? Bridezillas.
That's the price. But stay on that a little bit. Is that how it's always been, or this is something that you came to later, as you
Um
progressed?
I tried that with like two brides and I didn't like the feedback I got. I think one of the main things is people want Valerie.
Okay.
So first of all, they'll be looking out for problems when you send someone else. And in Ghana, there's
Okay.
this culture of like if you don't
Exactly.
get the
Yeah.
madam, the work will not be good. So naturally they have that in the back of their mind. So
Exactly.
I don't even entertain it so that we don't go there, you know.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
with the bridezillas, with the so yes, some people take offense, but they'll be fine. Most of the time, I'll
Yeah.
recommend other makeup artists.
Yeah.
I'll say, oh, but I can vouch for A B C D E F G, and or what styles are you looking for? If you want natural makeup, I can recommend some makeup artists who are great with
Yeah.
natural makeup. If you want heavy makeup, I can
Yeah.
recommend people on that front as well.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
bridezillas, how do I deal with them? Okay, so I have a few bridezilla stories, but okay, so I'll tell you one. There's a bride who had booked me for a Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and so I got there. She told me to come at 9. First of all, when she came to sign her contract,
Mm-hmm.
she circled the part where if I don't come, what will happen? So she circled it and circled it and circled it and highlighted it. And I was like, "You this girl." I said, "Have you seen your part?" She said, "Yes." So, but she'll be there. She came to sign her contract the week
Yeah.
of her wedding. So then I get there. Her contract is a 2 hour contract or 2 hour gig from 9 to 11. So I usually get there like 30 minutes before time so I can set up and move,
Right. Right.
my things in so that we start at exactly 9. So
Right.
I get in at 8 or 8:30 and I'm at the hotel. This is at a hotel. And
Yeah.
I call the bride, she doesn't answer. She answers like 20 minutes after, and then she says,
Mm.
"Oh, she's coming, she's in the bathroom." So I said,
Mm.
"Okay, so can you give me your room number so I come up?" She said, "Oh, no, no, no,
Yeah.
1 minute." So I was like, "Okay." So I was sitting on my phone, and then my assistant came. So when she came, I called again, and I was like, "Can I have your room number?" She said no. She'd get back to me. So I was like, "What's going
Okay.
on?" Then 1 hour passed and she wouldn't
Wow.
pick up my call. I was sending her WhatsApp message. I was like, "Are you okay?" So I asked the receptionist, "Do you know this bride?" Let's say her name is Naifa. "Do you know
Yeah.
Naifa?" She said,
Yeah.
"Oh, no, no Naifa here." And I was
No
like, "Are
neighbor
you
has
sure?" Okay,
booked in here.
no Naifa has booked in. So I was like, maybe she's booked it under her husband's name, which is something they do. So I don't know her husband's name, so I'll just wait. So
Okay.
after an hour and a half,
Oh wow, you have
I
patience,
realized
Valerie.
your contract is for 2 hours, so technically I need
Okay.
to be at the premises for 2 hours. That's an
Yeah.
hour and a half. I was like, okay, let me go through her contract because you probably have a emergency contact. So I found the emergency contact and I called her. When I called her, there
Mm.
was a lot of noise, like an engagement was happening. So I was
Mm.
like, hi. And that was her best friend. So I was like, hi, I'm at the hotel. What's going on? So her best friend said, oh, did he tell you, they sabotaged her engagement, like basically they had like some family issue, and her father had sabotaged the engagement the day before. So
Oh
she had
wow.
moved the engagement, or they were trying to do the engagement the morning of the wedding.
Oh wow.
So then I was like, okay, but this is just a communication thing, because that
Yeah.
your booking is it's not a full day booking, it's a 2 hour booking. So what happens to the
Yeah.
brides I have afterwards? So then she said, oh, she'll get back to me. So I waited for the two
Your
hours.
extra 30 minutes.
Yes, I waited. I sat there, and then I just looked in the camera so that the camera will see that Valerie was here for 2 hours. And then I packed my things and I went back. I went to do my brides. Unfortunately for her, I had like three other brides, and then I had Vodafone Awards.
Mm,
I had to do the
mm,
CEO of Vodafone at the time,
mm,
and her sisters, and another
mm,
client in the
mm.
evening. So I literally had back to backs. So I couldn't
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
So I texted her and said, you know what? Whoever did your makeup for the engagement, just have
Yeah.
the same person touch you up or change your eye and your lip. Because at this point, I can't help you. And you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
She didn't have a
Yeah.
planner, nothing. So
Yeah.
then I was there, and then they called me at 3 p.m. This is from 9 a.m. They called me at 3 p.m.
Wow.
And she's like,
Wow.
where are you? And I was like,
Wow.
I am on my way to another client. She said, no, you need to come back and come and do my makeup. And I was like, I'm not doing that. First of all, you cannot sabotage a bride who has done the right thing, her day. So there's no way I'm coming back to you, because as soon as I come to you, you throw me off, with my time and my
Of
movements and
course.
everything.
Of course. Of course.
So then she says, oh, I'm going to destroy your career. And I was like, well, all the best to you, because I don't know what I've done. I don't know which lawyer you go to who would say, oh, this girl is wrong. Because I showed up.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, but you've not done the job. And I said, no, I was there for the entire time you have paid me for. You
Yeah.
never communicated to me. If your engagement texted me and said, Valerie, this is what it is. So is there a
Yeah.
way you can move me to like a 3 o'clock appointment, so that I'll try and move the
Yeah.
brides forward or backwards, so
Yeah.
that I can
Yeah.
cater to you. But you don't bully me and trick me into
Yeah.
into staying with you the whole day or being at your beck and call. So I said no. Then
Yeah.
she said, well, return all my money. And I said, no, I'm not returning your money, because I showed up to do the job. I could have,
Yeah.
that's like a part of my portfolio missing. I don't have any content from you. Somebody else could
Yeah.
have booked the slot, and it's basically going to be treated as a cancellation on the day or on the week off. And a cancellation on the
Exactly.
day or the week off is a full cancellation, because you've completely let me lose money. So it's either I'm losing
Exactly.
money or I'm gaining money, and I'm not about to lose money. So this girl went on the whole email insult, a whole thing. I had to get
Oh.
lawyers involved. I had to get
Oh.
lawyers involved. I had to go and get tapes from the hotel to prove that I was there for 2 hours. And
Yeah.
basically, they
Yeah.
sent her like a cease and desist for
Yeah.
harassment, because she was
Yeah.
basically harassing me. But that was like
Yeah.
a tough one. But I'm so proud of myself that I stood
Yeah.
my ground,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
most of the time they try to bully you. They try to say things like, I'm going to put you in the newspaper, I'm going to go on TV. The thing is, when you narrate your story, unless you're going to lie, when you narrate your story, people are going to say, what the hell is wrong with you? All the vendors,
Exactly.
the photographer, I called the photographer and he was like, Charlie, they didn't pay me for these hours. So now how to get his money too was an issue, because he got there
Yeah.
for the wedding hours, and then, yes, and then they had kept him on because they had done engagement and wedding on the same
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So it was a
Yeah.
whole thing, but
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I didn't budge.
Yeah.
I
And
hope you
once
guys are
again,
happy
patience
with
is key.
your
You're
yes.
very patient. They are happy. Look at them. They're laughing. They are passing comments and saying, wow, oh my goodness, all that kind of stuff. You need to learn from
Yes.
Valerie. Make sure you have your evidence. Make sure you have your legal team. That's what you need to learn from Valerie. They're just
Yes.
they're enjoying the sauce.
They are laughing.
All right, so now I will
Yeah.
officially round up since we've satisfied curious minds.
Hmm.
Valerie, thank you so much. We've been having a conversation with Valerie Lawson. She is the creative director for Contours by Valerie, and this has been the live. Yes, technology wants to go on. We
Bye.
can't have that happen.
No, we can't have that
No,
at
no, not at
all.
all. Not at all.
No, we're almost done.
I want you to have the final words. That's all. Final words for us.
Well,
in these times. Yeah.
Thank you, Nefa, for having me. I think you have like an amazing platform and you're onto something fantastic because you're giving us an opportunity to tell our stories
Yeah.
and feed, curious minds
Curious minds.
clearly. Yes, and I
Yeah.
want to say thank you to everybody who has tuned in, everybody who
Yeah.
supports me. I really am blown away by the support and the love I get from people because a lot of people who don't even know me recommend me,
Yeah.
mention me, share, interact, and
Yeah.
it goes a long way. So I'm really grateful for everybody who has been a part of my story in one way or the other. And
Yeah.
I'm excited for new opportunities and new ventures. I want to say people should like also take it easy during this time. I know everybody's going through it, so take time to like sleep and to
Sure.
rest and to
Sure.
read. Like just read, watch like business, like what you have. Join platforms like this, watch and learn because there's so much to learn. Yeah.
Very well said. Very well said. And on that note, we officially end today's live Instagram chat for Africa's Business Rockstars. My name is Nefa, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Valerie, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You're
Have a
welcome.
fantastic
Thank
week.
you. You
Sure.
too.
Bye.
Bye.